Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop for this Tuesday night. And we're still in between that Christmas. No, we're not. We're gone past the New Year, but we're between the New Year and people going back to work, so everyone's still all over the bleeding shop. Let's
Yeah.
be honest about it. I'm Gav. That's Davo. That's Keith. Three topics. It's usually done on a Monday, but it's Tuesday, so we're doing it tonight. Keith, have you had a nice Christmas, a nice New Year, and are you back and work yet?
Yeah. I was walking over the Christmas a few days, but it was a handy number, you know what I mean? A couple of hours a day. Stephen's Day, the day Friday and New Year's Day I was walking. But yeah, it was grand. It's
Do you get
good.
double time for that, Keith?
I couldn't tell you my secrets now, Gav, but yeah, there's a bit of that goes on, a bit of that schadenfreude.
Yeah.
And with me being a team leader, I get to pick myself to get the double days, you know what I mean?
Ah,
So
yeah.
I'm a bastard like that.
Yeah.
I'm a villain, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It must be said.
You're not a team
But
player.
no, not at all.
No,
No,
no.
I'm only messing.
He's
No,
the gaffer.
yeah, just pulling rank. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, in all seriousness, just had to deal with it. But it was grand. But the kids are still off school, so it's still a bit of bedlam. You know what I mean? So back and work properly today. But even in my job, it's quiet. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are in the same boat with kids and shit like that. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Easy peasy. Lovely Christmas, lovely break. You know all that, the usual
Yeah.
sort of stuff.
My Christmas decorations are coming down tomorrow. Because of a birthday party on Saturday, so he needs to come down. Zup Dog says, nice to see our tree is still up. Mrs. starting to give me she's starting to give out to him for not taking it down yet. No, it's grand.
Yeah,
You're
our
fine.
mine's still up as well.
Davo, did you have a nice Christmas, New Year? Are you back in work?
Yeah, I was in Thursday and Friday, Gav. Yeah, Thursday,
you?
Friday. Yeah, we were
No
back.
messing.
Yeah. No messing with the posties.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, and then back
Now
to normal.
look, let's be honest. Use cream all the money off the top.
Yeah, in December we do, but we get battered in November, Gav. Get battered by all these fuckers buying their parcels early. We get no overtime for them, but then it kicks into December and we get a few quid, all right.
Yeah.
But back in Thursday, Friday, and then back to normal today. But quiet.
Yeah.
3-year-old, she's nearly 3, so kind of quiet. One kind of big blowout. Sorry, I went out for the Arsenal game as well.
Yeah.
With the lads, but went out with her once. Quiet enough. Other than that, all good.
Yeah. Garmax says Keith giving everyone the Christmas Day and Stephen's Day off when the place is closed.
We're open on
That's the way he
Stephen's
sold
Day.
it. That's
Just
the way he
Christmas
sold it.
Day.
He just went, listen, you're just going to have the 25th and 26th off. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
26th is a working day for us if it's on a weekday, so it's
Is
only
it?
Christmas Day. Yeah, the
Yeah.
only day of the year my team don't work is Christmas Day.
All right. Jesus, right. I've never put my CV in there, I can be honest with you.
Or, sorry, I should clarify, or Saturday or Sunday. So any weekday,
Yeah.
even except Christmas Day. Sorry. So
Right.
Stephen's Day, New Year's Day, if they fall on a weekday, we have to work them.
Right.
Saturday, Sunday, don't touch them. We don't entertain them.
No, you don't. Not interested in Saturdays and Sundays at all.
No, not my business.
Sure, Sundays, what's it? God's Day.
Yeah, it's a day of rest.
Day of
Day of
rest.
rest.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it. Anyway, I'm glad you all had a good Christmas. I'm glad you had a good New Year.
How was yours?
Mine was great. Yeah, it was great. Quiet enough, but it was grand seeing loads of family, friends. Yeah, it was good. I'm always working, you know me, every day.
Yeah.
But
I was grinding, Gav.
well, no. In fairness, I think we've done 2 shows in about 9-10 days, which was fair. We covered the football that was on, and that was about it. We left it after that, but it was grand. Right, so 3 topics. We need to be out of here by 11 o'clock because that was to go to work in 20 minutes. Yeah, that's the deal of a Tuesday or a Monday night. Davo, I'm going to start with you. What topic would you like to speak about tonight?
Do you know what? I was just kind of rambling around today. Obviously, back in work, you asked me, right, what are you picking? I says, do you know what? I think the standard of the league, because I've been quite impressed with it, and I'm kind of more so mean, kind of the bottom 2 towards say of it. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of teams that have taken points off big boys. There's a lot of teams. Surprisingly enough, now I thought, and then up the top, obviously with the likes of ourselves, I think we're on course maybe for, that's projecting and all that. I think we're on course for about 84 points, is it? Something along them lines.
Yeah, if you went exactly the same, we'd be on 84.
We'd be on 84, which is quite low for a title winning season, say. Certainly when you go back over the years, that it was ourselves and City. So yeah, look, City have they beat Everton previous games. They dropped points in 3 games in a row after taking the lead in 3 of them. You look at Villa, who are sitting second. They lost at Forest. They drew at home to Sheffield United after winning 15 in a row at home. I'm sure, listen, there'll be people in the comments throwing in examples of a Luton. They get a point with us. They take Chelsea to the brink. They take Spurs to the wire at home. Arsenal to the wire at home.
Chelsea as well.
Chelsea, Chelsea the other day as well. Like they really probably should have got something out of that with the last half an hour. Burnley probably the maybe outlier that haven't really done it. Even like I said, even Sheffield United going to Villa Park and getting a point. And then look at there's obviously Everton have been stronger with their notwithstanding that 10-point deduction they got. And look, I think if you look at most of the teams, Brentford have had a poor enough season, but I think if you look at most of the teams, kind of you work from the bottom up, there's certainly somewhere along the lines this season where they've kind of had a standout performance or a standout result. And I just think it's making for a more exciting season. Obviously, West Ham as well the other night.
Yeah.
So to be honest with you, Gav, I think it's probably the reason that we're sitting top of the league is how well we've disposed of some of the decent sides in the league that have turned up at Anfield. We know Villa are second. That's obviously been a big push. But when we played them, we didn't really know kind of what way they'd be. We top 6, top 8. But you look at Villa, Newcastle have quality, West Ham have quality. Brighton really are kind of our bogey side of the country. We probably drop points to them at home when we meet them again for some fucking Jesus reason we can't beat them. But I think we've really, really put the hammer on the teams that have decent, might be spending themselves a bit. They're a good side, have good results, and we've swatted them away like flies. So, but all in all, I just think the standard of the league this year is good, kind of from the bottom up point, kind of working. As like I said, I think at some point nearly every team, maybe bar Burnley, could probably look at a standout result or a standout performance. So yeah, that's my topic anyway.
Is it a better standard or is it a more even standard? Do you know what I mean? Like, has everyone? Because I don't think everyone's gone up in standard. I think a couple of teams have, for different reasons, have kind of stood still. I think a couple have moved up slightly, and maybe the ones down the bottom are getting, because of that, are getting, they're getting more results. Like Davo, are you saying to me that overall the quality of the league is better? Or is it the top half maybe isn't as good as it was, and that's giving the bottom half more of a chance?
I think if you look at it, it's been kind of well documented. I think Arsenal were 8 points, or was it more better off this stage last year? I can't remember. So Arsenal have obviously might been a bit more. So Arsenal have dropped back, but they had a brilliant start last season. So Arsenal's obviously dropped back down. We've obviously jumped way up. City are probably on a bit of a par. But I'm talking about in general, Gav, as in I think. Obviously, with the money the Premier League generates, I think the lesser sides are starting to accumulate some really good players. Do you know what I mean? Like West Ham won the Conference League. Listen, if all things being equal, they probably they were favourites to win the Europa League the same way we are.
Yeah.
And I think the lesser sides are, with the money that's available, are starting to really their scouting is in order, and they're starting to accumulate some really good players because they can pay the wages. And I good managers as well. Yeah, we're getting the best managers in the league, and good point, Keith. And I actually do think the standard is a bit better, because I always wondered, Gav, them years that we were going head to head with City, was the league shy, or the two of us just absolutely fucking smashing the league? And I didn't really know. It's probably a little bit of both, to be honest with you. The fact that team we were up there getting 97, 98, 99. City got 100 one year. That's when they walked the league that year. We went up against them then, but we often kind of wondered, right, is the league shit, or are we just fucking brilliant? And it's probably there was probably a mixture about then. I think I actually think the league is. I think the lesser sides in the league have made a jump.
I think, like, for me on it, you look at Keith mentioned their good managers. Joe mentioned like the standard of players and stuff like that. For me, I think the big thing about it is, for me, is that teams aren't coming in and splashing shitloads of money on players that won't be there in a year's time, and they're hoping against hope, and if it goes wrong, they're all over the place. I think there's a lot more structure to what teams are trying to do. Now, maybe Forest are the outlier there because they just went mental last season, but I think because teams seem to be building more, if you know what I mean. They seem to be having identity to them, and they try to build more. And I think it is. I think City have dropped off a bit. I don't think Arsenal are as good as they were last season. I think Liverpool have gone up a level for me from last season, but that wouldn't have been hard. And they've managed really well with the whole turnover in players, midfield especially. I think Spurs are a bit all over the place. United are all over the fucking place. But I think that's led to teams that are lower down the division going, we can have a go against this. You know what I mean? And that's why you're looking at Liverpool are top now with 45 points. Yeah, 45
20.
points. Where like when Liverpool won the league, they were top with 58 points.
Yeah,
after 20. You know what I mean? And I know that was an extraordinary season, but I just think teams are. Yeah, I'd probably agree with you. Then the standard has gone up overall, but I think that the whole thing that makes it look like it's more competitive and stuff is, I think the teams that are probably from 11th down to 16th are probably could argue that they should be, pushing for 7th, 8th and 9th. So that leads to a lot of competition in there. Keith, we were talking earlier when I told you what Davo's thing was with regards to the Standard League, and you were mentioning to me about the style of play of teams.
yeah.
Is that adding to it? Because a lot of teams will come into the league and you go, they can't hold on to the ball. They're playing channels. They're trying to get free kicks. They're doing this. But when you watch an awful lot of teams in this league, Keith, they want to play football.
Yeah, it's something that's crept in for a few years now, Gav, has been the style of play of the teams that Davo's talking about. The lesser teams, if we want to call them that. And even Burnley, to their detriment, are trying to play football. Do you know what I mean? Like Vincent Kompany has come in there and they're not veering away from trying to play. Now, it's not working for them. It's going fucking disastrous. But we don't know what their sort of internal thinking is there. Is it, look, we're going to get marmaladed this year. We're going to play the right way. We're going to stick to our principles and we're going to go down and try to bounce back up. But we're going to do it with a new style of play. I don't know. But if you look at the thing we said there about the standard of players, but also the standard of managers that are in there now, like Unai Emery's he's an elite manager and he's gone to Aston Villa. And now look at what he's doing there. Where the squad's very similar to what Steven Gerrard had. There's a few obviously good additions gone in there. But he's doing it with a lot of the lads that were there with Gerrard. But he's just an excellent, I think he's brilliant, Unai Emery. And he's gone in there. Roberto De Zerbi. Brighton are a team that I've looked at for a few years. We've all been watching with interest when Potter was there. And Potter was an intriguing character for me as well as backstory. But the Zerbi came in there and I'm like, I don't know if they can continue this. The top managers in the world are looking at what this fucker is doing. And they're like, these are ridiculous. These are doing something knowing. They're drawing everyone in on, to press them. And they're just playing through presses with players like Lewis Dunk and Adam Webster and all that playing at the back and so comfortable on the ball. There's no hoofing. Do you know what I mean? Bournemouth were struggling at the start. Iraola comes in. They're all saying, maybe a bit of a step up. Fucking brilliant. Do you know what I mean? So these lower teams, even Thomas Frank at Brentford, right, as Davo touched on, it's not going great for them at the moment, but they have a style. Now, I know Brentford are a little bit more physical, a little bit more direct, but I think it's down to the fact that all these fucking dinosaur coaches are sort of getting ran out of town as well. I know Hodgson is still there. Younger coaches are coming in with these ideas, even the likes of Kompany, and I think they just want to play football. Do you know what I mean? I don't like... let's say Roy Hodgson, for example, not Liverpool tinted glasses or whatever. But even Roy Hodgson, like Crystal Palace, I'd never have called them a long ball hitting run team. You know what I mean? They played football. They were a decent enough side. You just can't get a tune out of them. But when he goes, like, they're probably going to get someone else in. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a younger coach. It could be a Potter or a Cooper or something. Cooper was a good coach. Was doing a good job at Forest. The expectation got too high there. But then they bring in Nuno Espirito Santo. Do you know, like you're attracting in these good coaches that, at a certain level. So Nuno, for example, goes to Spurs, stinks the gaff out, done a great job at Wolves. Maybe there's a sort of level of what he can do, and Forest could be it with a good squad of players. I just think what we're seeing is a culmination of a few years of obviously ridiculous money coming into the Premier League. but teams being a bit smarter. So if you're going to hit the panic button on a coach now, you're not calling Sam Allardyce. Do you know what I mean? You're not calling Neil Warnock. You're not calling, well, Sheffield United got fucking wild at back. But even then, when Sheffield United came up a couple of years ago, people were praising the way Wilder played. You know, that it was an innovative overlapping bleeding centre-back system that they played as well, you know. So I think there's coaches that are going to play expansive football, and I think that's making teams a bit better. Now, I do agree that the standards of the teams at the top, Man City and Liverpool, I hear what Davo was saying about where we great, it was everyone else shy. I think them teams at that time, it was ridiculously strong teams that just absolutely took the life out of them. Do you know what I mean? They took the life out of
I think
teams.
it was two teams that pushed each other to the absolute
Yeah.
max.
Oh, and that you'll probably never see again, because you know when
It's
City
very.
can't
But
do it.
it's probably easier to make the argument that if someone goes and does 100 points, and I'm not taking that away from City, although I take most things that City have done away from them for obvious reasons. What I'm saying is, if a team goes and does 100 points, it's easy to say, the league is shy. You know, because they've done 100 points. But when you see two teams doing 98 and 97, both of them have to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
And like, there's a lesser argument for the league being shy because every team has 4 goals at them. You know what I mean? Rather than just 2. I think that's it. Can I ask you something though? Have the rules and the way the rules are implemented, i.e. the PGMOL, has that changed the way they're playing? Because I think there's a lot of teams out there that would happily sit on the edge of their box for the majority of the game and say, you know what, try break us down. We'll deal with crosses into the box. We'll do this. And now they can't. Because if they sit on the edge of their box, it can hit off them anywhere, and all of a sudden they have a penalty and they're goal down. Yeah. Offside is so tight, and you might get away with a couple of calls, but now you won't. Is there a thing in the rules now that are making teams come out and play more progressive football? Because sitting in your own box now is just asking for trouble, because the rules and the way they're fucking looked upon some of the times by referees. Is there something in that?
Possibly. I mean, if you look at the way Manchester United played against Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, and every goal kick is short and playing out from the back, you know what I mean? And that's a mid-table team that are absolute garbage.
Onana was playing rugby that day, wasn't he?
Pick of a touch, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so you're looking at teams like Manchester United are playing like that, but the lower teams are doing it as well. And maybe there is something in the fact that, you know, the VAR and things like that have changed how teams want to play. Because if you look at, and I know it's a different era, right? But if you go back to Sam Allardyce's Bolton, when they Kevin Davis up front or the likes, you know what I mean? And Kevin Nolan in behind them, and Kevin Nolan would be standing in front of goalkeepers on free kicks and all that. Wouldn't be allowed. Kevin Davis is smashing his elbow. His elbows must be in bleeding bits now that he's retired. Don't know what to be doing with themselves. He was smashing elbows every time he'd go for headers. He wouldn't get away with it now. It's a different time. So the aerial sort of bombardment thing is gone now, and it is more about playing it along the deck and playing football. So maybe that is playing into it. But I just think there's an excellent standard in the Premier League now. I think the bad teams have, you know, look, the 3 promoted teams I don't think are great, but Luton are trying to put up the teams. Sheffield United, I think they're the worst of them, even though Burnley are down the bottom. I think they're, you know, they're probably all going to go back down, but you'll probably then get your Leicesters back up, and Leicester will be a decent team. You know, I think the standard is getting better, but I do think the top teams have dropped back. If you look at last season, the shite that qualified for the Champions League, Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle, and Man United, they all only got there, even Arsenal, and don't give a shit, because Liverpool fell off a cliff last year. Do you know what I mean? If Liverpool don't fall off a cliff last year, the year before that, we're going for a quadruple on the last fucking week of the season. Do you know what I mean? Like, the push was so high. And then we fall away, and they got a false dawn. You look at Newcastle now, they can barely fucking run because they can't handle 3 games a week. You know what I mean? So they jumped quicker into where they wanted to be, and it's at that backfiring on them. United, false dawn. Everyone's saying about Ten Hag and he's this and he's fucking terrible. And they're now sort of falling back to where they really are, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? They were never a top 4 team. Do you know, right, they got there, so technically, right, they were a top 4 team, but they only got there because of the fall off. So, you know, I think you're saying Liverpool will jump back up there. Arsenal, I'm not saying they're a bad team, I'm just saying they were, in my mind, they were never going to challenge City. they were always going to lose it and lose it badly, which turned out to be the case. I just think that there's teams there now, with the fact that United and Chelsea have gone down the fucking falling through the floor. Spurs are different now, and the new coach will have them, you know, when the players come back, they might be a bit more of a threat. But there's opportunities for teams now to get not just into the top 6, but into the top 4. And I think that's pushing them on, and it's making them, you know, the likes of Villa, they've got very rich owners. They're not afraid to spend a few quid. They might look at January and say, right, we might bring in 2 players here to help push us.
Yeah.
You know, and get them over the line. And I just think there's that there's opportunities for the middle teams to push for the top 4, and then for the lower teams. Like I said, Bournemouth were dead and buried about 9 games into the season. They've gone on 7 or 8 wins in a row, and all of a sudden they're mid-table. So
but that was a great move to stick with him, Keith, because he was under pressure at Iraola.
He was, he really was.
He's after turn it around. You look at O'Neill, Wolves, the job he's doing. He was obviously
screwed with decisions. That poor fucker.
And he's
Would he give him more time? Would he give him more time though, Davo, because of the perceived quality of the likes of Luton, Sheffield United, Burnley, where we don't really need to pull the trigger here because we feel these 3 are championship standards, so we get it right at some stage.
Yeah, and look, like there's no point in you bringing in the likes of Iraola, and then after fucking 9 games going, we're giving them the bullet because we're getting we're getting jittery. You know what I mean? That's kind of a Palace fucking thing to do, which is why Hodgson is back in there. Yeah. But they have a bit of foresight, and I think Keith is spot on about. I think the standard of coaching is second to none. Like you're talking, like even we spoke regular about Everton, Gav. They look like they're a Sean Dyche coach team. Now listen, that's not going to be great on the eye, but I've already seen Everton fans was going, look at the players know what they're doing. The fans know what way the game is going to go. We'll give the other team the ball. Can you break us down? A lot of teams can't, and Everton have a bit of quality when they break and get up the pitch. I listened to that Soy Ferry podcast on the Scottish football. He was actually made a very interesting point when I said it. He said he played with Lewis Dunk in League 1 and League 2 and said all he did was smash the ball fucking 70 yards every time he got it. Every single time the ball was at the feet, he launched it 70 yards. And he says, look at him now, coaching, playing out from the back, coached under Potter, now with the Zerbi, and the standard, that's the level he's gone up to. I think he's in England international, is he? He's been captain, I think, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
So I think that the standard of coaching, be it, look, I know a lot of it is style looking to be easy on the eye, but even when you look at the likes of Allardyce there, not Allardyce, Dyche, he knows what he's doing. That's like he does know what he's doing. He can get a team right, and I think mainly a lot of the teams as you go up. Ironically enough, I think Ten Hag has probably been the worst performing manager of the season. Really, he's there 18 months. There's no style. It's more for the fact, Gav. Listen, them players are scumbags. They've thrown a couple of managers under the bus already. They'll do it again to him. But for him to be there 18 months, and them not have no real style of football, no identity, looks absolutely disgraceful on him, I think. And again, I'm not giving the players a pass. They're a disgraceful group. But like for him,
but he's okay. A lot of them, you see.
Yeah, but he should be in there putting his own stamp on it. And if it's going bad, at least have a fucking going bad your way.
Yeah. But the thing is,
like the sides card all over again.
Yeah, they've no identity to what they're doing. They've no plan to what they're doing. He signed an awful lot of them players. You have your man Sancho. Looks like he might be going back to Borussia Dortmund. I read there earlier. And there's a lot of them players he signed. And he's given new contracts, and then he's tried to get rid of and brought back.
Well, listen,
you're hearing an awful lot about United, and your man's coming in and he's putting in this amount of money, then he's putting in another 300 million on top of it to buy players, but at the same time, you're hearing, no, they won't be spending the wages, and I'm kind of going, well, what the fuck's the 300 million for? Do you know what I mean? But that's all over the place. There's stuff going around today now about Forest possibly FFP breaches, and they're waiting to hear on that, and possibly Everton with a second FFP breach as well. I think
Everton has been knocked on the head by kind of financial fella who's going to be in the now with the Everton.
Oh, right, okay. No, I was just reading there.
No, well, listen, I was saying that myself, and then there's a Man City kind of guy I follow, and he quote tweeted saying, "Now I'm after speaking to this fella, and he doesn't think it's Everton, so I don't know who else it'd be."
But they are like you see how badly it can go when teams get into that sort of trouble, but for the majority, I think they have a plan, and even down to Sheffield United, their plan is to come up, get as much money as they can, and go back down. That's just a plan. You have to live with it. Let's move on, because we're half an hour in, and we've only half an hour left, and we've only done one subject. Keith, talk to me. Darwin Nunez, you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Darwin Nunez. I obviously we all watched the game last night, and one of the things that comes out of it is that Darwin Nunez missed another 1v1 that he should really be scoring, and if I had hair, I'd be starting to pull my hair out at Darwin at this stage with these misses, the one-on-one misses. But everything else about Darwin Nunez's game is just off the fucking scale at the moment. If he could only put the ball in a little bit more than he is, he would be phenomenal. He's getting a hard time off Liverpool fans, which is fair enough. People can have their own opinions and what have you. But the reaction that he gets off the media and of other fans, I think is absolutely fucking bizarre. They talk about his goal return. Doesn't get near penalties. Do you know what I mean? He's only got a few goals. He's missing a lot of big chances. But what he's doing on the pitch, last night I thought he was absolute dynamite. He terrorised them. And I loved when Jurgen Klopp came out at the end of the game. And when he was asked by our, I don't know who the girl was, report interviewing him at the end about, worried about Darwin Nunez. And he sort of like, worried about what? And he's sort of saying, like, Darwin Nunez absolutely asked them blading Newcastle defenders what they thought of Darwin Nunez, because the two centre-backs were just stuck on him like fucking glue and they couldn't leave him alone. I think you're looking at a player there who people are seeing in the chat talking about selling Darwin Nunez. I don't think Liverpool are going to be selling Darwin Nunez. I think they're just going to put that faith in him that everything is coming together. The improvements on him from last season with his all-around game, I think, are huge. His pressing, his teamwork, his passing, absolutely huge. His decision making is a bit poor in front of goal when he has time to think. But if you look at the goals he scored when he doesn't really have time to think, the instinctive ones, the one against two against Newcastle, the one against Bournemouth in the Cup, the one against Burnley the other day, and then the ones that are getting fired across at him. I don't think he gets a fair Forrest. Yeah, I don't think he gets a fair crack at the whip when it comes to this. The judgment that he gets. I've seen Erling Haaland for Man City miss absolute fucking sitters in front of goal with no pressure, hitting them over, hitting them wide, right? No one mentions it because he scores a lot of goals. Fair enough, that's what he's there to do, right? Mo Salah misses a blade and rake at him. Darwin hit the post there last week, came out to Salah and he hopped one over the bar with no one in goal. You know what I mean? No one says that. Nunez misses them and he gets absolute blade and terrorised. So I just think it's a bit unfair the way he gets treated. I just think he's a player. And look, I like Nunez, so I'm obviously going to be defending him. But I will say that he's doing me head in with the misses because he can't keep missing these easy chances because that's all that'll be spoken about. I was at the Fulham game a few weeks ago, 4-3 game, and he was playing deadly in that as well. He was running them, legging them all over the place. He hit the crossbar, yeah. And people are like, oh, no composure. Like, that was a quick fucking break. He smashed it, hit the crossbar. But he got one where it got nodded in front of goal and he mishit it. And it's like, oh, Darwin. There's always a, for fuck's sake, Darwin moment with him. You know what I mean? That you just can't, you can defend them. But people will always have the ammunition. Say, what about that one? But like I said, last night I thought he was unbelievable. I think he's just playing well his all-round game, and I think it's going to go right for him. I think it's only a matter of time. What? Like, for example, I think he has, what does he have, 8 goals or something this season?
I couldn't tell you what he has. He's all his assists for Salah.
He's 8 and 8 in all competitions, Keith.
Yeah, he's got 8. Yeah, he's got 8 goals in all comps. I don't know what a fair sort of goal return would be. I mean,
8 goals, 8 assists. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, which is
good. 15. He got 15 in all competitions last year.
Yeah. Like, I think if he gets that again this year, but he's assisting a lot more, I don't know. I just think the success will be, if Liverpool can win a league. I know it's a bit early to talk about that, but if Liverpool can win a league and Darwin Nunez chips in with 15 goals, it'll build on what was a start. You know what I mean? He's still only young, well, relatively young. Doesn't speak the language fully yet, but he just looks to me like a player who's integrated in the team, who the team love, who Klopp loves. And to me, it's a matter of time before that just kicks off for him. But, it is getting a bit too much trying to defend the shite that he's missing. But everything else about him, just absolute gangbusters. I love watching him.
Well, when you watched him last season, it was always like he's mayhem, he's this, he's fucking all, and he was, because he wasn't influencing games, or he wasn't influencing his position enough. He was doing some mad stuff every now and then. He was getting the odd goal, and people were like, this fella's mad. He was taking shots from, balls were dropping over his shoulder. He was just hitting them. He was doing, and you're kind of going, yeah, he's 15, 16 goals in all competitions last season, but he needs to do more. And I think, like, I keep going back to it. Klopp basically comes out and tells you that in the summer. He says Darwin's not starting because we're still trying to get him into what we need him to do off the ball. And that's not only when we don't have the ball, it's when we do have the ball. When we have the ball, you'll have to make some runs here to pull people away and stuff like that. And it's interesting you say it, because I thought it was quite telling last night that the two centre-backs seem to be watching him all the time. Both of them. It wasn't like, here, you watch him and I'll watch this fella. They were both at their eye on him. And I think his overall game has improved massively this season. But the goal return's gone the other way. Now, he's 8 goals, right? But you probably should have more. Absolutely, you should have more. But my big thing on Darwin Nunez is, and look, I could be completely wrong on this, I think there's something there. I think there's something major there with Darwin Nunez, that he can become a fucking serious goal scorer for Liverpool. But I think he needs to become comfortable in his own head that I'm doing everything right in the build-up. I just need to literally differentiate the build-up from the goal scoring. You know what I mean? Like, it's nearly like, I need to be in this position, and now I have to score. Whereas he'll just naturally just end up in these positions, and he'll naturally just score. Now, the keeper has the game of his life last night. Let's not beat around the bush. It's not like the keeper's standing there and he's just whacking balls over the bar and wide and stuff like that. But I get people's frustrations, because, look, if we're in a title race going down the stretch here with fucking 6-8 games left, and Darwin Nunez is missing chances like that, and we're fucking, edging games barely, one will catch up with you, and you go, for fuck's sake, he missed 3 there again today. The one-on-one he should score. The other ones some of them are difficult, some of them are just great saves. The one where he slides in second half,
it's a great save.
It's a fucking brilliant save. You know what I mean?
Save, yeah.
But I think, and look, maybe me just getting older, I have more patience with players, but it's not like I'm looking at a player going, he is fucking brutal. I don't care if we sign him for 5 million or 85 million, he's fucking brutal. He's not running, he's not moving, he's not linking, he's not getting shots away, he's not getting in positions, he's not doing that. He's doing all of it. It's just sometimes that ball needs to go in the net. And I've said it before, and I'll stay on it. He needs a couple of real strikers' goals. He needs the one like that where the Bravka saves to just bobble in. He needs a couple where he slides in at the back post. And I think it'll start to marry very quickly that I'm involved in all this stuff in these 2/3 of the pitch or this part of the pitch, and then my job is to go and score and not think about it. I think he thinks too much.
He needs a Gakpo goal like last night.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
Off the bottom of his studs,
that's
fucking no right for the fucking thing to bounce in, and it just drops in. I think I just kind of have a feeling on him, and I don't know if he's picked up in the last night. Right, Neville kind of started off kind of caning him. Then when Darwin gets taken off, you can kind of hear it in Neville's voice. He was disappointed he was going off because he was enjoying watching him. But I felt, listen, Keith was spot on. I actually think Shar kind of passed him on to Botman a good bit, going, I don't want to hear this. Can't you deal with him? And I think Botman for this one, I think was that Botman's first game back. It was one of them anyway.
Yeah,
and
second.
he was coming off there going, fuck me, he's after running me fucking ragged. Like, I think the frustrating thing is probably the offsides. He makes a great run the second half where he covers his run and gets in. He needs to do that a little bit more. The one in the first half, I know there's only a gee here in it, like, but he's born offside. I think a lot of the commentary on him now you're reading is kind of is the offsides. But I kind of felt last night in particular, I don't know what you think. Like Neville was saying in commentary, the goal is coming. And I think a lot of that is down to how Nunez plays. I think he misses the 1-on-1. I have an awful feeling if he had to put it in with his luck, the ref would have pulled it back for the fucking push. You're after pushing Batman. But look, we'll never know that. But I just think the momentum he brings with like being relentlessly pressing, creating chances. Yeah, missing chances. We can't deny he's missing chances. I think that all it all helps. It all leads to like keeping the pressure on the team. Newcastle couldn't get out last night. Neville was saying you can feel it in the crowd. The goal is coming. They can't fucking get out. And I think he's a huge part of that. Carragher mentioned it after the game. would Gakpo got them chances that Nunez got? Probably not. But Nunez didn't score them. Right, so you're obviously in a catch-22 then where, look at, yeah, like, I love him to bits, and I'm kind of exactly with Keith. My brother's kind of the same, loves him to bits, but he's like, at some point, you can't keep defending, missing them opportunities. But I listen, he's still a starter for me in that team. Obviously, with Mo going off, he's probably is going to start more games. Obviously, he'll be taken out for a rest or a break every now and again, but he's still a starter. He keeps getting in there. I know everyone keeps saying it. It's that old thing. I only worry about your striker when he's not getting in there to miss them. He's still getting in there. He's giving defenders a fucking nightmare. And listen, I'm all for him. I hope people weren't expecting one of us to disagree and say he's shit getting out the door, because I think the three of us are in the same boat here, Gav.
No, I think, like, look, I've seen people on social media and stuff going, "Oh, he's not good enough. He'll never be good enough. Get rid of him." And I'm like, get rid of him for who? Like, let's take what you're saying literally here. If you're on social media saying get rid of him, you want to sell Darwin Nunez this week and sign somebody else, and you're in a title race. It's bonkers, right? And I'm sure if you said to Mo Salah, what's the story with Darwin Nunez? Fucking great. He's at the line about 9 on the bleeding play for me this season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Loves him.
And he runs his bollocks off. I'm doing less running because he's chasing fucking everything. Do you know what I mean? Or if you said to Luis Diaz, what's the story with he came in and I was up the wall with things going on, and he went in and played down the left, fair fucking play to him. You know what I mean? And I'm not suggesting for a second that he's perfect. I'm not suggesting for a second that, you know, he's fulfilled probably his potential. I don't think he has. But all I see with Darwin Nunez is, for me, he's just he's still morphing into a Liverpool player for me. And separating the whole build-up and where I'm meant to be and the runs I'm making into the actual finishing, I think is where he's having his issue. Like, he talks about the instinctive stuff. The one against Burnley, Gakpo just puts it there and he just goes, fuck you, and just bends it in the bottom corner. No problem to him. The one against Bournemouth takes a bad touch, although it's in a hurricane, but he takes a bad touch. Crowd are having a great laugh. He just comes inside and smacks it in the top corner. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Even the, sorry, Gav, for cutting across, it was the West Ham one that McAllister clips that lovely ball in. He just has that little dinked depth volley over Areola. Villa, was it? Villa, West Ham. I can't remember which game.
Might be in Villa, I think.
It might have been Villa. Yeah, and like a lovely ball, McAllister, and like that's a fucking that's a hard finish to control that. But against Martinez, one of the best keepers in the world.
Yeah. But you see, the thing is, people say, look, when he has time to think, he's not as good. And I don't go along with that argument, because he has loads of time to think away at Newcastle twice. And the first one he rattles in off the fucking, basically off the post. And the second one, the keeper's going one way and he smashes it into the side netting. You know what I mean? Both brilliant finishes. I think what happens is, I actually think when he's too much time, or people think he's too much time, I think he rushes himself. Whereas if you give him 2 seconds, he's only taking 1 second and going and do it. Where he should probably just be taking 1.5, 1.8 seconds and just going, slow it down that extra half second and settle myself and put it away. So it's not actually one where, he's too much time to think he's not good. That's not true. But I think sometimes what happens is he just actually doesn't take enough time and it's kind of a bit rash at it. And when I'm watching him missing these chances, I'm kind of going, do you know what? He scores that last year. I think he scores it because part of me thinks when he's going in the box, he's half thinking to himself, am I in the right position here? Because all in his head's all about tactics and movement.
I seen it written somewhere. I seen it written somewhere, and it could have been some agent like me on Twitter, or it could have been a pundit, a centre forward. But I seen it written somewhere talking about him, just going, do you know what you should start doing? Aim for the goalkeeper. Aim for the keeper. And aim for the keeper and get a good strike and see where it ends up. As in, like, he'll come off one side, probably.
Yeah, but he's in the zone now where Davo, if he aims for the keeper and hits the keeper, it's like, oh, there he is, no composure. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's actually in that boat where whatever way he misses, they're finding an angle on him, if you get me. But look, he's gonna play more. He's gonna be even more kind of
just to finish on, Gav. I think with the manager support, I think it'll turn with him. If he's a manager like Klopp there, who looks like he's all in with him and all that, I don't have any concerns. I think it'll turn.
Yeah, and I think he's a bang on both. Just saying it, like, he keeps getting into positions. You know,
I've
so
never
if they're going to Darwin Nunez, and you get into this position, the same position, 3 games in a row, and this is what you've done, right? This is what you need to do. You know, because you're talking about defenders like Lewis Dunk being coached. Forwards need to be coached.
Yeah.
Finishing different things, knowing where you are. You know, instead of rattling it, just put your fucking side for it. You know, they need to be coached as well. And he's still young, so I still have an awful lot of hope for Darwin Nunez. And I still feel if he taps a few in at the back post or slides across the defender and gets one in, I think he kind of go, yeah, now we're in. And I think, and look, you have to give them time. You know, you have to give them all time. They're all, for me, you know, looking around them, new midfielders beside him. Diaz has a new left back beside him. I don't think it's, well, stuff that's gone on with Diaz hasn't helped him anyway, injury and family and stuff like that. But I think last night you seen it. I think last night he had way more confidence in what Joe Gomez was up to last night than in previous games with, say, Simicast, because he knew this is what Joe Gomez is going to do, and I can go and do the business. You know what I mean? Same with Robertson when Robertson's there, but they're all kind of, you know, just getting used to what they're doing, and that they've been brilliant for that. They've been brilliant at the top. They've been brilliant, but look, just leave them alone, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Leave them alone, right? Stop them. I'll get me married after you. I don't know what we're meant to do here, but I think Darwin will be absolutely fine, and I'd love him to come out while Salah's away and just bang in every game, a goal every fucking game, and go, yeah, this is I'm flying here, because defenders are terrified of him. They're terrified of the power, the pace. They're afraid to give him chances, because like if you keep giving them to him, he's gonna start scoring. Just the way it goes. I'd love to go on a real red hot streak though. You know, 10-10, and see where we are. Before we go on to mine and we finish up, you can probably see on the screen, and if you're listening later or tomorrow, you can't, but on the screen it says here, Air 2024 fundraiser, link in description. You can see a logo there for the Lighthouse, and you can see a logo there for fan support and food banks. So, as we do nearly every year at this stage, we do a fundraiser, or a charity fundraiser, over about 6 months, usually January to June, because we usually get the job done in that time. We've done it for kids in need of life-changing kind of operations. We've done it for bereaved parents. We've done it for breast cancer. We've done it for loads and loads of stuff. And we wanted to do something around food banks and homelessness and different things like that this year. But we wanted to split it. We are a Liverpool podcast. We're based in Dublin, so we came up with the idea of splitting it between Dublin and Liverpool. All right. The first logo you can see there is the Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is a place on Pearse Street in Dublin city centre. And basically what the Lighthouse does is it provides food for the homeless and services to homeless people and people that are struggling to make ends meet. So it's a cafe. Keith, you know it. You know it's down there on Pearse Street.
Only down the road.
People that I do know volunteer in there and give their time up in there a couple of times a month. They are registered as a charitable, charitable organisation. But this cafe is basically opened certain hours of the week to allow homeless people to come in out of the fucking cold, out of the rain, get a hot meal, you know, maybe have to go and have a bleeding wash, whatever it might be, talk to someone. They might have things in their mind. People that genuinely are living somewhere but don't have the money for food can go in here. And the whole idea behind us helping this organisation is that this cafe can open for more and more hours. They're trying to open on Saturday evenings, Sunday evenings. They're trying their best to get us open as much as they can, but it's all on a voluntary basis. So that's the first place we're helping. The second place, fan support and food banks. If you're a Liverpool fan and you've been to Anfield, if you've seen footage of Anfield, you will know who these are. This is really good because it's both Everton and Liverpool fans in the city that go to the grounds on match days and do everything outside of match days as well to help people in Liverpool, again, that are struggling to make ends meet, need to put food on the table for their kids. They're brilliant at what they do. If you've ever walked past Anfield, I know Keith, you were there recently, and your son went to the local shops and bought stuff and donated it. So they always have their vans outside. It's usually down by the Paisley Gates, isn't it? Yeah. And they'd have their vans there. You can go down with perishable foods, wherever it might be. You can donate to them and stuff like that. They're our second partner in this. So we have set a target on GoFundMe of €10,000. which will be split evenly 5,000 and 5,000 to both these organisations, which will help homeless people, and it will help people that are struggling to make ends meet, people that are hungry, because let's be honest, the cost of living just keeps going up and up and up. And let's be fair, your governments on both sides of the water are fucking terrible at helping people that are struggling to make ends meet. And what I mean by that is there's people out there that are working, like literally working, right, from one end of the week to the other, and because of rent and the stuff that goes on with landlords and all sorts of stuff, they struggle with what they're trying to do. And these two organisations help them in slightly different ways, but they absolutely are out there to help people. They're out there giving their time, they literally giving up their own time to go and help others. So we'd like to help them. So that we're looking at €10,000. If we go above that, great. We're just splitting it 50-50. Now, the GoFundMe is in the description. It is there. You can click on it. You can donate. Brilliant. Okay. We're going to do a golf day. We always do a golf day. We're going to sort that out as well. People can sponsor that by sponsoring holes, long drives, nearest the pins, prizes on the day for raffles and stuff like that. We're going to bring that out in the next week or two with all the details. There might be people out there that want to play the golf. The numbers do be limited, but if you want to play it or you want to come and have the night out with us or whatever it might be, you're more than welcome to do that. So that is ours for the next 6 months. And as I always say, or we always say when we start, we're not going to stop until we get to this. So if it takes me 12 months, or Keith or Davo or anybody else in this podcast 12 months to come on here fucking 10 times a week, because that's how much we're on at this stage, and say to you, listen, the GoFundMe link is there, fan supporting food banks and the Lighthouse. Listen, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to shut up and we're not going to apologise for it. We're just not. You know what I mean? Turn off if you don't want to listen to us doing it. But we think it's a good cause. We think we can make the 10 grand. We think we can do a good golf day with a good night out. And all these proceeds going to two really, really good organisations. Keith, we're doing it again.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? You love a good.
We always have to crack doing it.
Yeah, look, it sort of always culminates in the golf day, and we've all been there, and people who've been there at the day, they love it. You know what I mean? It's great, it's brilliant, but it's something that, I'm not saying we're not looking for pats on the back for doing this sort of stuff, but I always say, right, if you have a platform that you can do anything decent with, do something decent with it. Do you know what I mean? And it's something that this channel, and you've been the pusher of this, Gav, the things like this are what make it great. You know what I mean? Like trying to help people. Even the likes of these charities, as you said, we've done a lot of different stuff, but these charities here, people that are hungry in this day and age, fucking help them any way we can. So I love being involved in the channel for things like this. I love that we do our best to try and help. We don't think we're changing the world, don't get me wrong, but any small bit we can do to help, you know what I mean? Football is football. It's great crack, and I've seen Arsenal fan for life in there saying, well done, great charities. Football and rivalries and all that, look, you can have a bit of crack about that, but ultimately, and it's what annoys me about the shit that Liverpool get, to be honest, but, that's for another day.
You see, people say to me, how can you support, like, listen, you can donate, right? But let me put two scenarios at you, and I think they're both fair. If you're walking down past Anfield on a match day, right, and you see the fields, fan supporting field banks, and you go, oh Jesus, I should really get something for them. If you've ever thought I should have got a few things for them, right? Now you can do it. Now you can just donate into this, and they're going to get the money. If you've never been to Anfield and it's your lifelong ambition to go to Anfield, and you've seen footage of these, because you definitely have seen footage of these people outside the ground doing this, again, giving up their time to collect. Now's your chance to go, I'm not at Anfield this weekend, but I know them vans are there, so I'm going to donate a £5 into this, because I know the lads at Talkin Kop are going to get this to them lads, right? On the other hand, you have the Lighthouse, where you see your homeless people out there, and I'm going to be deadly honest with you. When you walk down the street and you see a fella with a cup in his hand, or a girl, half your mind thinks, are they on the bleeding? Are they messing? You know what I mean? Are they on a stroke here? Are they actually homeless? Are they going to just spend it on drink? Are they going to just spend it on drugs? A lot of people won't give the money because of that. I know that for a fact, and I've been in that position where I look at a fella and he's just going to go in and buy the nagging of vodka with it, right? Now, with the Lighthouse, If you're walking down the street and you think I should have given that fella a fiver or that girl a fiver, or I should have done that, you can do it now. You can donate to us, because if you give a fiver, half of it is going to fan support and food banks, right? And half it's going to the lighthouse, and it's not being spent on drink or drugs or anything like that. It's going into putting hot food on plates for people, and I think that's where it may. Kev always
And I
says,
think
he said it
another
there,
thing,
fivers and tenors of what you get is there. It absolutely is. You know what I
another
mean?
thing, Gav, sometimes people don't carry cash, you know what I mean? And I've often been in a
Yeah.
situation where I've seen people that look genuinely, hungry, and you just don't have money, you know what I mean, to give them. So this is just an alternative way if it's something you're interested in doing.
Well, look, I'm giving a shout out now, because I have the golf day can be, like Davo will tell you, the golf day can be, it's a brilliant day. Don't get me wrong.
Brilliant.
Everyone now has a bit of crack, has a few points after, a bit of food, goes out that night, few jars. There was a draw last year, a bit of entertainment. It was great. But sometimes it can be difficult. Players can go, I'm not sure on that date. Now, I'm going to give the date as quick as I can. It's going to be early June, I'd say. Right, it usually is. I'm going to try to bring it forward a week as opposed to what we done last year. But I'm going to give everyone the shout now. If you want to play that golf, right, or you want to be there on the day, or you want to be there on the night, email us at Talkin Kop, talkinkop1, I think it is, at gmail.com. talkinkop1@gmail.com. And let me know that you can kind of register your interest, because players that played last year will be contacted for this year. It's the easiest way to get players starting. But if you want, I'm letting you know now, if you want to be involved, throw it in there. The way we're going to do it this year is, because I think that the interest might go up this year. What we're going to do is we're going to literally put out the price for the team, and you send your money in, and you send your 4 players' names in, and that's how it's going to go, because I think this interest might go up a little bit this year. But if you want to come along and help on the day, if you want to come and fucking, just come for a few drinks, if you want to bring prizes, you want to donate prizes, even if you want to donate a prize but you don't want to buy it, but you want to say there's 50, buy something, we'll buy it and we'll send you the receipt for it. We've no problem doing that. I've no problem, because Keith, Shawnee, Davo, whoever, if I rang them and said, listen, will you drop into such and such a shop and grab me that, they would. Do you know the sort of way? So that's where we are. There's loads of opportunity to help here, donate, take part. So I'm letting you all know now. You can email us, talkinkop1@gmail.com, if you want to register interest in the golf, whether that's playing or just being there or helping or whatever it might be. I'm giving you the head start now before I even go and confirm the date. Okay? But it will be probably the fourth Friday in June. That's right now, that's what I'm saying. It may change. But look, it starts now. It's up there. The donations will start coming in, because I'm going to hammer everybody with the link now over the next couple of days. Tomorrow it will go across our social medias, with both parties being tagged in this sort of stuff, and you'll see it across all our social media. So there you go. That's where we are with that. And the 6 months or the 5 months or whatever it means starts right now. Anyway, can I talk about pundits and their eyes?
Let's go.
Yeah, just quickly before we go, because I know Davo has to go. My one this week is, and you know me on pundits, but why are people just refusing to use their eyes? Like, they're genuinely not, they're just not using their eyes anymore. They're watching something, they're not watching what's actually happening, and they're just making an argument about it there and then, and they're throwing it out there, and then the masses turn around and go, oh yeah, and everyone gives that opinion as the same. I seen it after the Jota thing last night. Like, Shearer and Ian Wright, the nerve of them to come out and say what they said last night on social media with regards to Diogo Jota. The absolute fucking nerve of them. And both of them, I would hasten to add, are probably ones that would call Harry Kane clever in the last couple of years, or about things he's done, right? Like, Keith, am I going fucking mad here? Because I'm genuinely watching this last night, and Neville's like, no contact, hold on, there might be, but. At the end of the day, take the Jota one, for instance, right? He's fouled. He goes down. If you think Diogo Jota doesn't want to round that keeper and score, you're mad. If you think Diogo Jota is going past him going, I'm going to jump the ground here so Mo Salah can get a chance to redeem himself, you're mad, right? And my other question is, if he goes by him and misses, are we pulling it back for a penalty because it's a foul?
See, this is the problem.
But all we're getting is, oh, that's soft. Look at this. They're doing this. This is this. And these are fucking former footballers doing this. They're not using their eyes anymore. They're just narrative-based bullshit. And it's doing me head in.
Well, you've got players like Alan Shearer, who fucking has dived for many a penalty in his day, you know, and Ian Wright, and every player, by the way, who does, you know, Gary Neville. I had to turn him off and ended up listening to Martin Tyler on the thing last night just because I can't listen to Gary Neville now. I'm at that stage where people are looking at this. So Diogo Jota, right, goes through. What a ball by McAllister, by the way. Just seeing a video of that from the behind angle, fucking outrageous. Goes around. I've had great fun with Newcastle fans all evening about this. What striker goes around the keeper, has an open goal,
and jumps on the ground,
dives for a penalty, giving up a goal, and he's not in the starting team either, by the way. So he's coming off the bench, he's coming back from injury. He's giving up a goal and also a goal bonus, probably, I don't know how much they're playing huge, probably 50 grand. Do you know what I mean? Like, to go for a penalty for a player who missed a penalty earlier, right? Doesn't mean he's going to miss this one, but it's no fucking guarantee. What forward would do that? None. Absolutely none. There's not a single forward. And I've seen people arguing that, the players were on the line. It wasn't a clear goal scoring opportunity.
The players weren't on the line.
The only reason they even got back is because the keeper clips his fucking heels and he slows him down and loses his momentum.
Yeah.
Now, he takes an extra step. That's fine. He takes an extra step. But you can see the close-up of Dubravka's elbow hits him on the ankle. And
Dubravka is actually quoted as saying, I did clip him, it's a penalty.
Well, yeah, but they're arguing not saying it should be a penalty, but that I gave a penalty, so there's no point moaning about. Look, he fucking fouled him. It's a foul, it's a penalty. If he stays on his feet and misses, it's not getting called back, right? That's not getting called back for a penalty, and it should be, because he was taken out. The Dubravka, soft or not, the contact not being hard, he denied the clearest goal scoring opportunity you'll ever see, an open fucking goal after going around the keeper. But you're listening to the commentary and the punditry of these people, and they're telling you, and it's soft, and it's this, and it's that. We're in the age and the day of VAR. Things get checked. Do I think players, put it this way, I'm not against diving, right? Because diving with no contact I don't like. But when there's contact, even if it's slight, because you don't get any fucking medals for staying on your feet. And I've seen Liverpool players trying to do it, trying to stay on their feet and not get the decisions. I've seen Mo Salah getting fucking upended for 5 years, 6 years, and not getting penalties. So if you get the touch, you go down, and that's a penalty. And I've no qualms about it. But you're listening to these fucking chancers. Gary Neville.
Gary Neville's commentary last night was disgusting.
Yeah, he's a hard listen. It's this, and the silence.
And while he's trying his best, while he can't deny what's happening in this game because Liverpool are hopping off them, he's trying in the same way to form some sort of narrative for why it could go wrong for Liverpool. At the same time, he's I fucking can't stand him. I thought it was disgusting last night. And like Jono says there, Shearer had a mental breakdown. This is the same guy who praised the Englishman Calvert-Lewin for that dive against us a couple of years back that won a penalty. Like Davo, it's like Ian Wright. I called this fucking couple of weeks ago when Ian Wright rocked up where the four of them have fucking breakfast, right? And they think they're bleeding. They think that the two Ronnies, right, sitting there, right? They think there's some sort of fucking comedy panel, right? I called it. I said, when he's pulling away in the BBC here, he's going to go down the same road as all these fucking idiots. And that's exactly where he's going. Because he's not a bleeding wet day in Sky, and all of a sudden, he's having a go off of a player. Now, I'm telling you, Ian Wright sitting in the BBC watching Matchday would have said, look, he gets clipped. As a forward, you get clipped, you go down. It's a penalty. But now, all of a sudden, they're all bleeding. They all get the WhatsApp messages, Davo, in the group. Listen, here's the fucking narrative, because they're not using their eyes, Davo. They're not using their eyes. They're just fucking trying to find something with an incident that will create the most hysteria and just go with it. And that's forming people's opinion, actually really forming people's opinion now. It's
look,
less said about them people, the better, actually, to be honest.
Exactly. Look, I'm not going to be able to bring too much more to it than you said, because what you said is fucking spot on. Jota doesn't take penalties. He's gone around that keeper to roll it in the net and get his goal bonus and get his goal back after injury. He obviously gets the one against Burnley. He'll obviously that's that currency, as we were talking about with Darwin. He wants to roll that into the net. Like he doesn't want to dive in the ground and get a penalty, so he's clipped. And Neville's narrative with Liverpool, I thought that is because he nailed his colours to the mast with Arsenal. he went for Arsenal a few weeks ago to win 2-0 at Anfield.
But he's nailed it with Man City over the last couple of years against Liverpool as well. He's decided that the team in his city that he doesn't support is better off supporting than Liverpool. You know, or better off putting your eggs in that basket over the last couple of years. And now he's desperate for Arsenal to do it against City. But now watch him change the narrative again now with City and Liverpool going down the final four long here.
Yeah, exactly. And look, like you said there, I'm sure that text went to the old pundits WhatsApp group share going, look, like he's just having a mental breakdown because it's Newcastle. That's why he is. Ian Wright should know better for the reasons I just mentioned. That he was a goal scorer. He didn't. He was a killer in front of goal as well. Right. He's gone. Like he should know. If Jota's gone around that keeper, he's round in the net. He's not jumping on the ground, especially because he's not the penalty taker. So I mean, like it's just common sense, and it's nowhere to be seen with these fucking fellas. And look, it comes down to it as well. We've seen it for the last few years. I'll go back to that Stevens' night game against Leicester when all these fans are putting out memes, save football. It's up to you, Leicester, now to save football. We're the most hated fucking team in England, and we get the most clicks and generate everything. And all them social media people and all in there push that Liverpool narrative, push that Darwin Nunez narrative, push. Was it a penalty? Talk sport, this, that, and the other, fucking everything. Look, there's just no common sense. It's all for fucking clicks.
Yeah, like Jono says there, Ian Wright says, why did he go down and pass up an open goal? And Jono says, because he got fucking clipped, you donkey. If that was an Arsenal player like Saka, he'd be 100% saying that's a pen. Stephen Thomas says, the second one was never a penalty. It 100% was. And the first one was harsh too. The first one isn't harsh. No. The first one, Luis Diaz goes by...
Stonewall penalties.
Who puts the challenge in?
Botman, is it?
Is it Botman?
Yeah,
and he just comes across him and hits him. It's 100% a penalty. And the second one is 100% a penalty. He goes by the keeper, and the keeper hits him not once, but twice. He hits him with his arm, and then catches him with his elbow on the way down. And do you know what? If Jota doesn't go down and stand still and goes, he's after hitting me there, I had to stop running because he hit me. It's a fucking penalty. Jota tries to take the extra step and goes down. But it's a penalty. And the thing is, right, if he goes around the goalkeeper, right, if he goes around the goalkeeper and misses it, are they pulling it back and saying, sorry,
No.
I know you've missed that chance. Well, let me put it to you this way. If a ball comes into the box and a fella gets a push and heads it wide, and all of a sudden, referee doesn't give it, and VAR go, oh, you missed something there. Your man's had to just fucking completely pushing him while he tried to score there. That's a penalty, right? The same with Jota. They go back and look at that footage, they go, he's had to hit him once, not once, but twice. I know he's missed, but it's a penalty. He's actually stopped him. Like, I seen someone last night trying to say that there should be a law brought in, successful, deceiving of a match official. There should be some retrospective
punishment for
mad stuff. People aren't using their eyes.
No.
People aren't using their fucking eyes. And do you know what's worse? You can get Gary Neville and Ian Wright and Alan Shearer and Roy Keane and Carragher, whoever, and they'll all do this. And as far as I'm concerned, they're all just they literally think they're on stage playing a fucking this is act one of this show that they're putting on, because that's what it feels like. It feels like it's scripted every time they come on. Who's playing? What's the fucking narrative? Boom, that's what we're going to push it. Regardless of what goes on the pitch, we just keep pushing this narrative, right? But the worst thing is the people that listen to them and then literally regurgitate word for word what these people are saying. So these people are not using their eyes in any way, or just calling it for what it is, and then other people are taking it and running with it. Do you know what I mean? It just absolutely does me fucking head in. And I don't know, maybe it's my own fault. I should have muted it last night. I should have muted. I should have found the American stream, but I believe Martin Tyler might have been on the American stream.
Yeah, I turned and Martin Tyler and Andy Townsend, it was horrendous. Andy Townsend and Martin Tyler.
Andy Townsend,
it was horrific.
Wow,
and they, by the way, they were willing in fucking Newcastle chances as well.
Yeah,
but
so
it was
maybe it's my fault for doing that. But I was watching social media last night and I was like, are these people actually for real? You know?
Yeah.
Actually for real.
The meltdown on social media by certain accounts, and look, Newcastle fans, I think are, they have this vendetta with Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. They're forcing a rivalry that shouldn't really be there. And I'm seeing a lot of that. Like I said, I've been playing arguing with Newcastle fans all day.
Well,
because
that's
I'm
4
like,
wins. That's 4 wins in the bounce, isn't it? Against them,
yeah.
they've done the double
But they
over the last
right in
2
every one of
seasons.
them, Davo. I remember last season having arguments with them because they were saying that Nick Pope shouldn't have been sent off. And it all stemmed from Eddie Howe saying he doesn't know the rules if that's a red card. He handled the ball 35 yards out from
And
goal.
said there was, and at the same time, by the
I
way,
was- I-
sorry,
the way
just on that one, Eddie Howe arrives out after the game and says, "Ah, look, he goes down, but we have men behind the ball. There's nobody behind Nick Pope when he handles the ball. Nobody. There's a fella 25 yards square of him. Nobody behind
and
the
it's
ball.
Mo Salah, by the way, that's running through.
Yeah,
on
Eddie
Nick
Howe was
Pope.
carrying on as if his back four were standing on the line.
Yeah.
You know, the sort of way. But the rule is, if your keeper comes out and hands it outside the box, it doesn't matter how many players are behind him, he gets fucking sent off. Simple as that.
Look at Newcastle have they've tasted that success. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got the tip in, and now it's gone. Now they got fucking kicked
Yeah.
back out. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking, and they know they're miles away from getting back into it. They're behind Man United this year, aren't they? That's how fucking bad they've been.
Yeah,
and they're probably a mile off fucking getting back to like Champions League football or etc. So I think that they're just fucking fuming over it.
Yeah. Centurion says Beglan and Champion were good on NBC. Oh, I didn't know.
Couldn't find them. Yeah,
Jerry says Newcastle are desperate for relevance. True Geordie blew a gasket. Says Derek. Oh, this is the guy on YouTube.
Oh, that fatty Egypt.
Yeah. Isn't that the lad that start calling people fucking bombers or something like that?
Yeah.
Don't even give him the fucking.
Yeah, so you're better off just not watching him. Simple as that.
Don't give him the YouTube clicks. If you put a video
he's probably trying to build back up after that slip of the tongue, I presume, is he? Yeah, fair enough.
Hacked. He was probably hacked.
None of our business. Anyway, let me see. Are you seriously not going to comment on True George's disgusting rant about Klopp? No.
That's what he
wants. Because that's what he wants.
Yeah. Does anyone in this chat think Klopp is a horrible person or a disgusting human being like this fella claims?
Well,
no.
Jurgen Klopp is meant to be a disgusting human being, just quickly on that. And one of the biggest viewed videos of the year from Liverpool Football Club, and probably across all of the football clubs this year, is Jurgen Klopp welcoming a young man from Monaghan to the Access Centre, spending plenty of time with the family, himself, walking him around personally, pushing this lad around in his wheelchair, meeting all the staff and all the team, sitting down, chatting with Jurgen Klopp.
Oh, he did. He put a video out earlier.
Well, there you go. So, yeah, okay. Less said about him,
cabbage.
The better.
Absolute cabbage.
Yeah, less said about him, the better. He's not. He should be nobody's business. Let's be honest about it. He should be absolutely nobody's business. We better go. Davo, look at Davo. He's fucking up in the minutes. I know him.
Yeah. Getting up in 20 minutes.
He's up in 20 minutes. Anyway, before we go, Keith, anything else?
No. Good to be back, get a bit of normality, into after the old Christmas. But I love Christmas. I love the break. I love, the sessions and things like that. But I'm glad now to be on the other side of it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, good. Back down pods and things like that. So, yeah, happy days. All good. Okay.
Davo, anything else before we go?
No, just enjoyed that last night. It was I love waking up for work when I have to win the game, Gaff.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. And on the flip side, it's horrible when we fucking don't.
Yeah, you don't want to go with.
Yeah.
But a good performance as well. So it wasn't just a win.
Look at against the side that have some quality players. They're struggling at the minute, but they've plenty of quality through the squad. But yeah, love that win yesterday. Back to a bit of normality. Just ruined the weekend with this fucking stupid FA Cup. But look,
stop.
That's it.
Yeah.
Chris Back the kids and that.
Chris Back says, question for the pound chat. What is your cut-off date when you stop saying Happy New Year to people? I'll take this because we could go another hour. I think it's the cut-off time is the first day back in school. Because then... Yeah. Because then you've met everyone. Who else are you fucking meeting? I think when you go back to the first day in school, you're dropping the kids down. Happy New Year. And then it stops. That's it. So next Monday morning, cut off. Enough's enough. Yeah, so that's how I think it is, Chris. If anyone wants to disagree with me, lash it in the comments afterwards. I'll read them and I'll get back to you.
Did you hear Curtis Jones is going to Arsenal?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, Arsenal have rang Liverpool and said, "Can we have Curtis Jones?"
He wants to live down south.
Yeah, he wants to live down south.
Listen, any time you read a transfer thing and it has AFC Camden written on the end of it, where this weekend. I think you're safe enough.
Yeah. I think you'll be all right. Good lad, Curtis. Anyway, enjoy London. Let me see. That is it. We're out of here. The 30 show back in the morning for members. It is back tomorrow at 10 a.m. We should have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm trying to line up a couple of shows for Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday night. We'll see how many we can get. We will be back for Arsenal at the weekend, and then it's another fucking break, isn't there? I don't know what we'll be doing. Matt has a quiz. Matt has a football quiz done. We'll definitely get that on board. We'll try to get a draft in. We do as much as we can, but we're back. We're absolutely back. We'll try to do something tomorrow night, Thursday night, whatever we can do, we will do it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for downloading if you download later on. Don't forget, the link is in the description for the new charity fundraiser that we have going. It's going to be great. We're going to get well over 10 grand. We're going to have a great day out at the end of it as well. Through our work and your support, both those organisations are going to benefit massively. That has been the Talkin Kop. We'll talk to you soon. Over and out.